Your doctor said your hormones are just off and handed you birth control or thyroid medication or told you it's just stress and you need to relax. And maybe those helped for a minute, but the symptoms came back, or the side effects were worse than the original problem, or you just feel like you're managing instead of actually healing. So here's what you need to know: your hormones aren't broken. They're responding perfectly to the environment you're in, the chronic stress, the toxin, the inflammatory foods, the lack of sleep, the gut imbalance. Your hormones are the messengers. They're showing you what's out of balance in your entire system. And when you address the root causes, when you support the system that actually produce and regulate your hormones, everything shifts. The periods regulate the mood, stabilizes, the energy returns, the weight balances, the skin clears. So I'll share with you exactly how to do that. No prescriptions, no synthetic hormones, just supporting your body to do what it actually already knows how to do. So first, let's talk about what's actually happening, because most people think hormones are just these mysterious chemicals that randomly go haywire. That's not how it works. Your hormones are a communication system. They're messengers traveling through your bloodstream, telling your cells what to do, telling your cells to wake up, telling your body to go to sleep, burn fat, store fat, ovulate, build muscles, feel calm, feel energized. And here's the key: they don't work in isolation. Your hormones are produced and regulated by three interconnected systems. System one is the HPA axis. This is your hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. It's your stress response system, and it controls everything. When you're chronically stressed, and I mean everything from work stress to not sleeping to inflammation in your gut, your adrenals pump out cortisol. And cortisol hijacks your entire hormone system. Your body literally steals the building block meant for your sex hormones and diverts them to make more cortisol instead. And this is called pregnenolone steal. So you end up with high cortisol and low progesterone, low testosterone, low DHEA. Your thyroid slows down to conserve energy. Your blood sugar goes haywire. And all because your body thinks you're running from a tiger every single day. This is why stress management isn't optional for hormone balance. It's foundational. System number two, your gut, where hormones are metabolized. Here's what most people don't know: your gut is where you used hormones get broken down and eliminated. So you produce estrogen. It does its job. Then it needs to leave your body. And that happens through your liver and your gut. But if your gut is inflamed, if you're constipated, if your microbiome is imbalanced, those used hormones get reabsorbed. You end up with estrogen dominance, heavy periods, PMS, breast tenderness, fibroids, mood swings, not because you're producing too much estrogen, but because you are not eliminating it. Your gut health is your hormone health. System number three, your liver, which is the detox central. Your liver processes everything: hormones, toxins, medications, environmental chemicals. And when it's overloaded, when you're drinking alcohol, eating processed foods, exposed to plastics and pesticides, taking medications, it can't keep up. Hormones don't get metabolized properly. Toxins then build up and everything backs up. Your liver needs support, and most people's livers are exhausted. So when I say your hormones aren't broken, I mean it. They're just responding to a stressed out nervous system, and inflamed gut, and an overloaded liver. Fix those three things, and your hormones will regulate themselves. So now let's talk about what's actually throwing your hormones off. Because you can take all the herbs in the world, But if you're still doing these things, you're fighting an uphill battle. Number one, chronic stress, which is the number one disruptor. I already mentioned this, but I need you to really get it. Chronic stress is the single biggest hormone disruptor. And I'm not just talking about work stress or relationship stress. I'm talking about not sleeping enough, right? Where your body reads this as threats. I'm talking about over exercising. Yes, too much high intensity interval can destroy hormones. You may be under eating and your body thinks there's a famine. There may be chronic inflammation where your body is constantly in defense mode. There's perfectionism and control, and your nervous system never rests in this state. All of this tells your body we're not safe. Don't make babies. Don't build muscle. Don't burn fat. Just survive. And your hormones respond accordingly. There's endocrine disruptors, right? And these are the hidden toxins. These are chemicals that mimic your hormones and confuse your endocrine system. And where do these hide? Where do these endocrine disruptors hide? They hide in plastics, plastics that contain BPA, phthalates in food containers and water bottles. They hide in personal care products, such as in lotions, makeups, shampoos. They're in pesticides. They're in non-stick cookware. They're in fragrances, which have those synthetic scents, in candles, in air fresheners, in perfumes. These chemicals bind to your hormone receptors and block your real hormones from working. Or they may act like estrogen and create estrogen dominance. You've got to reduce exposure. Use glass containers. Use clean beauty products. Use organic produce, at least the dirty dozen. Use cast iron cookware. You may experience blood sugar chaos. When your blood sugar spikes and crashes all day from eating refined carbs, skipping meals, drinking coffee on an empty stomach, your insulin goes haywire. High insulin leads to PCOS, ovarian cysts, or irregular periods. It leads to weight gain, especially belly fat. It may lead to inflammation, increased testosterone in women. So stable blood sugar equals stable hormones. It's that simple. We've already talked about poor gut health, but it's worth repeating because if there's constipation, dysbiosis, leaky gut, all of this disrupts hormone metabolism and reabsorption. You need to poop every day. If you're not, your hormones are recirculating. Now, let's get into the herbs. These aren't band-aids. These are plants that actually support your body's ability to produce, regulate, and metabolize hormones properly. Herb one, Vitex. So Vitex works on your pituitary gland to balance the ratio of estrogen to progesterone. It's especially good for women with low progesterone, which shows up as short luteal phase, PMS, irregular periods, or trouble conceiving. So it's best for PMS, irregular cycles, luteal phase defect, perimenopause. Do not use if you're on hormonal birth control, and be patient. This is slow, steady rebalancing. Herb number two is maca root. Maca is an adaptogen that supports your entire endocrine system. This includes your adrenals, thyroid, ovaries, pituitary. It doesn't contain hormones. It helps your body produce its own in the right amounts. Plus, it's amazing for libido, like really amazing. So it's best for low libido, energy, fertility, menopause symptoms, and it's an all-around hormone support. Some people may find it energizing, so take it earlier in the day. Herb number three, Shatavari. This is Ayurveda's primary female reproductive tonic. It's cooling, it's nourishing, and it supports estrogen balance. It supports fertility, lactation, and menopausal transitions. It literally means she who possesses 100 husbands because it supports vitality and libido. So this is best for estrogen deficiency, menopause, vaginal dryness, fertility support. Don't use if you have estrogen dominant conditions such as fibroid, endometriosis without guidance. Herb number four is ashwagandha. So we talked about this one before for nervous system support, but it's also critical for hormones. It regulates your thyroid, it lowers cortisol, it supports healthy testosterone and DHEA production. It's best for thyroid issues, hypo or hyper. It's best for adrenal fatigue, cortisol dysregulation, and stress-related hormone imbalance. This can be slightly energizing for some, so take earlier in the day if it affects sleep. Herb number five is red raspberry leaf. This is a uterine tonic. It tones and strengthens the uterus. It regulates menstrual flow and is incredibly mineral rich. Contains iron, calcium, magnesium, which is all needed for hormone production. It's best for those who have heavy periods. It's best for uterine health, pregnancy preparation, and for mineral support. Take note, safe during pregnancy, during the second and third trimester, and while trying to conceive. Herb number six, dongui. This is known as the female ginseng in Chinese medicine. It builds blood, it regulates menstrual cycles, it eases cramps, and supports circulation to reproductive organs. It's best for irregular or absent periods, menstrual cramps, blood deficiency, and anemia. Note, don't use during menstruation. It can increase flow, or don't use during pregnancy. Best use in the follicular period or phase after period ends. So here are some foods that balance hormone. So we know that herbs are powerful, but if your diet is a mess, they're not going to fix it. So let's talk about what to eat. So foods that support hormone production include healthy fats, because hormones are made from fats. This include avocado, coconut oil, olive oil, nuts, seeds, wild caught fish. If you're eating low fat, your hormones will tank. You need fat to make hormones. Next is cruciferous vegetables. This help metabolize estrogen. This include broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale. These contain compounds that support liver detoxification of used estrogen. Flax seeds help hormone balance. They're like the hormone balancing superstar. 1 to 2 tablespoons ground flaxseed daily. This contains lignans that help balance estrogen levels. You may add to smoothies, oatmeal, or salads. Leafy greens, these are magnesium and mineral rich. These may include spinach, chard, kale, collards. Include magnesium, which is needed for hormone production and sleep. There's also fermented foods, which is important for gut health. Gut health equals hormone health. Sauerkraut, kimchi, coconut yogurt. These support healthy gut bacteria that metabolize hormones. Healthy seeds include pumpkin seeds, which are high in zinc. Zinc is critical for progesterone production and testosterone balance. Quarter cup daily as snack. Foods that disrupt hormones. Let's talk about these. These we need to minimize or avoid. So these foods that disrupt hormones include sugar and refined carbs. These spike insulin, create inflammation, and disrupt blood sugar balance. White bread, pasta, pastries, candy, soda. Also, conventional dairy. Conventional dairy contains hormones and antibiotics that disrupt your own hormones. If you eat dairy, choose organic, grass-fed. Alcohol. Alcohol burdens the liver. It disrupts blood sugar. It interferes with estrogen metabolism. Minimize or avoid. Caffeine spikes cortisol and can worsen PMS and anxiety. So look, your hormones aren't some mysterious thing you have no control over. They're responding to how you live, how you eat, how you sleep, how you manage stress, and what you're exposed to. And that means you have the power to change them, not by forcing them with synthetic hormones, but by supporting your body to do what it already knows how to do, which is produce, regulate, and metabolize hormones in perfect balance. It takes time, but it's so worth it because when your hormones are balanced, everything else falls into place. Your energy, your skin, your mood, your weight, your fertility, your libido. So let me know in the comments, what's your biggest hormone struggle? Is it irregular periods? Is it thyroid issues? Menopause symptoms? Your hormones aren't broken. And now you're finally learning how to support them.